afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're over here on the main stage at Rumfest 2011 with John Goerges, the master distiller of Angostura Rum, and with Ian Burrell.
Who? Oh, me.
Rum lover and troublemaker.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for taking the time to come to listen to me.
Afternoon. Thanks for coming here and listening to him.
Yeah, thanks very much for being here, John. I thought you've got. Yeah,
oh, don't forget Scott up there, Angostura's master mixologist for the UK.
Scott's hard at work up there.
Oh, he's making some cocktails for us, all of us.
In many ways, the most important person here.
Oh, yeah.
John, I thought we could start with a little bit about yourself. You've been with Angostura for ages. How did you get into that? Where did you begin?
I must be the luckiest guy in the world. Trinidad is a country with oil and gas and all sorts of interesting industrial type things. Somehow I failed all those interviews. I was accepted in the company that makes rum. I've been the happiest man ever since.
Fantastic. How many years ago was that now?
Ooh.
Good many.
A good many.
Let's leave it as a good many. Let's leave it as a good many.
Fantastic.
I'm not as young as I look.
You were telling me a little bit earlier about Trinidad and the influences, how diverse it is over there. Tell me a bit about the country and how that
Trinidad is an extraordinary place. As an island, of course, we had native Amerindians and Caribs there first. Then there were the Spaniards, and the Spaniards invited the French, and then the English came in. And then, of course, there were African slaved, Indian indentured laborers, Chinese indentured laborers, Portuguese indentured laborers, and any number of adventurers and general no goods, I suppose, ended up in Trinidad. But it led to this island becoming an extraordinary mix of people. So that you come to Trinidad, anybody walking down the street, everybody's a Trinidadian. Anybody can be a Trinidadian. It's quite brilliant.
But that's only if they're walking with a little swagger and a stagger. If you're walking too straight, then you're definitely a tourist.
Look a little worried.
Yeah, or looking worried.
Yeah.
No, Trinidadians are not all party people, trust me.
See, okay.
I work very hard. Very, very hard.
He does.
Yeah.
But Angostura is something fundamental to Trinidad, isn't it?
Yeah, Angostura bitters. I mean, Trinidad has a global product in Angostura bitters. You go anywhere in the world, any decent bar, it will have Angostura bitters. And recently on holiday, I was in the Usambara Mountains in Tanzania, in a place called Lushoto. No one has ever heard of the place. In that bar, there is Angostura bitters. You've got to have it.
I don't know about you, Ian, but for me, the rums are also, in the rum world, they're one of the mainstays.
They are. And naturally, because of the Angostura bitters, because it's so popular, and it has been for years around the world, the rums have taken second fiddle. But they're now starting to grow and become much more popular, especially in the countries I travel to. Recently, just in Russia, traveling around. And you're seeing Angostura everywhere. And I'm like, wow, I'm expecting to see basically 3 rums. The biggest white rum in the world, the biggest companies, spice rum inside the world, and maybe a Cuban rum from the capital of Cuba. Notice I didn't mention any brands there. How clever was that? They're the 3 rums you expect to find, but I was seeing in about 90% of the bars I saw in the 10 different cities I went to in Russia, I see Angostura. I saw Angostura there, so they're obviously doing a lot of work. It's obviously growing, and then people are making that connection to the bitters and the quality rums.
You were telling me there are a few things that are distinctive about Angostura's production.
Well, Angostura, of course, we all know how rum is made. You need a sugar that comes from sugar cane. And in Angostura's case, to make sort of rum with a lot of character, we always start with molasses. We start with molasses and the other key ingredient, or important element, yeast. Angostura uses its own yeast. We have propagated this yeast for the past 70 years, and therefore we know that we have a yeast that produces spirits with a unique flavor and aroma born in Trinidad. That yeast was harvested and propagated in Trinidad. So we're using a Trinidad yeast. I believe that's critical.
One of the things that contributes to the fact that they all really have an Angostura character all the way through. I think
I'm sitting in Connoisseur's Corner. You can come to see me across there, Connoisseur's Corner. Gentleman comes up to me and says he can taste an Angostura rum from a mile off.
That's true. I mean,
that is very true.
Ed can testify to that. There's many a blend of rums out there, because Angostura not only makes rums for themselves, they do sell rums to other people.
Yeah, we do sell rums to other people.
And there are times when you taste those rums, you're like, yeah, we know where they bought that from.
We know where they bought that rum from.
We know where they bought that from.
So that's the yeast that does that.
That's the yeast. That's the beginning of the process. Once the fermentation is complete and you've done it as, you know, picture perfect, we like hygiene rather than sanitation, because a hint of bacteria, adds to the flavor quality of the spirits that we produce. Once we've got that spirit, we need in the fermentation mixture, we need to distill it. And distilling is what really separates the good from the bad, focuses the best part of the spirit, and eliminates the stuff that we personally don't like. But it is a carefully controlled process. Flows, temperatures, pressures, that's where I come in to ensure that we maintain the same standards consistently every single day. Produces the spirits, different qualities, flavor qualities, aroma qualities that ultimately will be aged to make our rums.